We came down here to talk about tax reform. I want to talk to you about that. But first, we've got to talk about the developments just over the last 24, 48 hours. What do you make of the reports that the president may have encouraged then FBI Director James Comey to really back off the Flynn investigation?
Well, it's serious. Those are serious reports, serious accusations. When I was governor, you know, you're briefed by your attorney general and everybody what you can and can't do. And basically, if there's an investigation into something that we've done in the state or to a person that works for me, I can't intervene any way, shape, or form if there's an ongoing investigation. And you could be charged with obstruction of justice. With that being said, you have to find all the facts out. We've got now basically this coming out, Mr. Comey saying this. Those facts will come to us, and we'll be able to subpoena them if they don't come to us on the Intelligence Committee. And I said, just basically follow the intel. The intel will take you where the facts will take you where the truth is and make decisions from there. But people are jumping all over the board right now, and I've just said, listen, this country is resilient, and we are the hope of the world. But there's got to be a process. The rule of law is everything we are. And everyone else basically stands back in admiration of how we're able to handle through these difficult situations. So let's show that we can continue to do
What's the best way, in your judgment, to get to those facts? Is it the Congress? Is it a committee such as your Intelligence Committee? Is it an independent counsel? Should they appoint an independent counsel?
Well, I've said this. There should be a special counsel or independent counsel because really the American public needs to have confidence and faith that it's not being driven by partisan politics. Democrats that don't like Republicans, Republicans don't like Democrats. One's protecting the other, one's charging the other. That's not where I come from, not the world that I represent. With that, here we are. How do you do it? Well, get somebody independent if you can, but get somebody that's not beholding. Well, that's a process you go through, answering to Congress only and not to the administration or the Attorney General. The Attorney General's had to remove himself from the investigation. This is very complicated and convoluted. I would hope that the next FBI director is someone that has a stellar reputation, that's come through the ranks, nonpartisan. You don't know whether they're Democrat or Republican. They've always come down the rule of law, and that's really where James Comey was.
Yeah.
Okay? So can we find somebody that can stand up there that the American public can have trust into, and no protection, if you will, no favoritism, and do our business? I think we can.
So I want to get back to tax reform just for a moment here, because it's why we came down here. What do you make of tax reform? Can it still be done in this atmosphere in Washington right now?
Well, it has to be done. I mean, we've been since, what, major reforms since 1986? Never have we gone that long. It's always been like a 15 to 20-year cycle. We're passing 30 plus. When we did the last tax reform, we never had cell phones. We didn't have access to all this internet service, if you will, and 24-hour news service and social media. So it needs to be done. The tax code has gotten so convoluted, and all you have to do is spend a little bit of time in Washington. The people that are working the tax code continuously as we speak are doing it in favor of who they represent, who's paid them to come up here to make sure this niche is out, this little credit is taken care of. So I've said we need one they can believe in, and right now we don't.
So as a Democrat, can you work with this president and this White House to bring effective tax reform?
Well, I've spoken to the president a couple of weeks ago. We called and talked about other issues, health care and different things, and we talked about, and I said, Mr. President, listen, you have a template that Gary Cohen and Steve Mnuchin has put together that you've signed off on, simplified form. That's fine. I'll work out that template. But we've got to find the right figures that work. 15%, I don't believe is going to work. If you're open to looking at figures that work, that take in consideration, we have a growing $20 trillion debt that we're going to have to answer to sooner or later, that we have a system that people believe in that's fair, that all these giveaways and credits and offsets and things we call it junk in the box, most of them can be eliminated, that we can have a corporate tax that's competitive worldwide, but territorial, so we don't have this inversions going on where people are leaving us because we've driven them away. An awful lot of common sense can be brought to it, and hopefully we can do that. I'm willing to sit down and start today.
Common sense sounds like a good thing.
Common sense is not that common here, Dave.
Don't forget. Okay.